open, which is one of the first ones that jump out to me. I think Rumble's been extremely strong here in the LPL to where it is 12 wins and 4 losses so far, but EDG wanting to go straight for that Karma pick. It is a pick that people have been saying shuts down the Rumble, right? He drops the equalizer, you mantra E the team, and it's just like it never happened, Munchables. You get out of there.
Oh no, I'm having horrible flashbacks to the EDG BLG series. Senna is available. They have the Karma already. EDG lost to the Senna Karma composition. It's available for them to now play. Are they going to enact the very BLG strategy that beat them onto IG here? That would be truly something special.
Yeah, that will be interesting. When I think of a Viper, at least in Spring Split, right? Senna isn't really one of those top things that come to mind, but they felt the oppression. They want to go for it. Once this combination gets to mid-game, killing them or killing their teammates becomes extremely hard, scales very well. You obviously have double range set up in the bottom lane, so I wonder how IG will want to react, because with the Ezreal pick and with their last series, we know IG just want to leave Wink alone, and we also get a blind pick Gwen coming out. We expect that to go up in the hands of Flandre, but is still a potential flex pick.
I think this is Rookie showing his respect to the Shy here, right? AD carry's already locked in. They're hovering at Kalista. That's Rookie's salute to the Shy, who's stuck in, I think, quarantine or maybe visa issues. I'm not entirely sure. That's a Lux. That's actually locked in. I'm assuming Lux support? Lyric, what do you reckon?
You know, I'm going to assume it's Lux support like you're saying, right? Because they've already showed their bot lane, they've shown their cards. You wouldn't expect them to pull out a Lux against a Gwen, which they don't know where it's going. But I'll be honest, Munchables, I'm not too sure of how this lane matchup goes. Who knows the next time we will see this lane matchup, or if this will come out as a consistent thing if Senna Karma is picked. But we're going to see Lucas pilot this one. We need to remember Lucas also pulled out the Bard last time, so a player that's showing he's very comfortable and confident in pulling out different picks. One thing we know about IG's comp so far, though, it has a ton of range to play off of.
Yeah. We'll see what's going to be locked in. I'm thinking even things like the Zoe do go very well with a Lux. I'm just saying, if you land the bubble and there's a laser to follow up on it, that's someone who's going to die real quick. We'll have to wait and see. I don't want to... Look, we've not seen Lux in professional play in a little bit, so let's just wait and see what IG have up their sleeves. But Viego banned off the board, as is Udyr and Jace and EDG. I wouldn't be surprised to see them ban something else, another extremely long-range mid lane.
Yeah, the thing I'm most interested with is where IG goes with their 4th pick, because you would expect them to want to try and pull out a top lane pick that they think is good in a Gwen. We've hit on how teams have pulled out things like the GP before. We've actually seen the Camille matchup. Some teams have brought out the Wukong, but at least in LPL, I don't think we've seen anything be that successful in the laning phase, but they will lock in this one. Looking at over at EDG, I think you want to bring some engage into the jungle role, maybe something like a Xin Zhao, which can be propped up by the Senna and Karma in the bottom lane.
I'm seeing the Chinese fan vote, and I have a feeling that doesn't come up on the English stream, but it's 60% in favor of IG, which I have to say I'm a little surprised about. I feel like you'd expect most people to go the way of EDG, but it's going to be a Sylas and a Volibear. So Volibear, I guess, in the jungle here. Sylas mid, Gwen up in the top side. Feels like there's a lot of AP on this team, but then you do have a Senna who's going to scale indefinitely. Lyric, what do you expect from IG here to round it out? Looks like it might be Galio for Rookie.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, right? They already have the Camille in the top lane. And like you said, they do have a lot of magic damage, but IG aren't that tanky, right? So you're not going to have a ton of people who are going to be stacking MR regardless. You do have burst and consistent damage coming out from EDG's lineup, right? Sylas, Volibear, Gwen, they get on top of you, they can just burst you out instantly. We know Senna later on is going to become a big threat of DPS. And looking at the drafts, I like what EDG have. I'd say more so than IG. You expect IG to be wanting to make a lot of these plays around sides, right? It's going to be Rookie hitting 6, trying to shut down that Gwen in a side lane, and then probably once we get to the mid game, it'll be about, okay, Rookie pushes in top wave, recalls, makes his way towards spot, rinse and repeat, looking for those picks. Then it's about your 3-man core surviving in mid lane with all of their range damage. But no front line, I think, looks really rough. EDG should be able to either find avenues onto you or put you into situations where you need to come into them, which going into Karma and Senna, Munch, you saw it firsthand. It's not something you want to do.
It's terrifying, man. The thing is, I feel like a lot of this composition from IG relies on a bit of poke, right? A bit of Lux and Ezreal poke coming through. This entire composition, it's just shielding and healing. I mean, me and Dagda named it shielding, right? Because what can you do? How are you ever going to get this poke to stick against all the shields coming out from Karma and all the healing coming out from Senna? I don't know if that could be, like, I don't know. Maybe I just have PTSD at this point, but I'm terrified of this composition from EDG. Anytime I see Karma and Senna again, until I see it lose before my very eyes, I just can't picture it.
And even, talking about healing and shielding on other champions, right? You have Sylas coming in with this W, Gwen coming in with her passive. If we do get into extended skirmishes, they will be completely EDG favored. We're pretty much just looking at the Galio and Camille combo on the side of IG to be able to find an avenue to win this game.
I'll have to see, and I'm not going to lie, Lyric, I appreciate that IG don't believe in the same narrative that we all do, that Rookie has to win every game. But Galio for Rookie, I don't know if that's the play. I feel like he's the guy that you got to have on a carry. We'll see if I'm wrong on that one. Is IG, they believe in the Galio pick here. They believe in the Camille-Galio combo. It is exceptionally potent, and you expect Rookie to be hovering towards that top side, trying to maybe make dives happen alongside Jiejie as well. So Flandre could be in trouble. Will need some help from Jiejie and Scout. But importantly, Scout can nick that ulti. Scout can make Galio plays as well. So mid laners getting out of the mid lane and influencing the rest of the map is what we're going to be looking towards across this one. But Lyric, it's EDG versus IG. We're going into game one, and based on these drafts, I've got a feeling this is going to be a banger.
Yeah, definitely. We just keep getting new champions with Lucas bringing out the Lux. Going to be a bit of a learning experience for all of us to see how this one goes, right? You have Ezreal Lux in the bottom lane. Are you going to poke it out? Are you going to try and push in, take down turret platings? Are IG going to potentially, try to prop up that lane as well as top side? Because these are a bunch of questions that I have. But later on, I want to see, right? If IG can potentially get ahead, Lux Ultimate, Equalizer, Arcane Barrage, can you just instantly maybe take out a member from EDG? My guess is no. Like you said, Karma, Senna, the sustain and tankiness of other members just seems a bit too overbearing. But we'll find out, because neny going for the Ignite and Teleport to try to match what he expected Flandre to be running.
The only thing I'm a little... Yeah, I do like the Ignite TP. With a Ghost TP coming out from Flandre, it's not dissimilar, right? Ghost, when you think about it, I think... Low-level summoners, and a few years ago, it was thought of as like a replacement for Flash on certain champions like Master Yi and like your Hecarim's, etc., right? But I think in top lane, generally speaking, it is an aggressive summoner. It's the thing that you run on characters like Darius, that you just want to dominate the lane. And for Flandre, I think it's very much going to be a tool for being able to stick on someone and win out a matchup. Rookie already taking a heavy trade here from Scout, who's desperately trying to walk in. He wants to get his passive off, but it's just not going to happen for him here. As we start this game off. Let's look at the junglers here. Oh, sorry. Take me away, Larry.
I was going to say, going back to your point about top laners, right? Ghost a lot more ability to utilize in team fights, especially over something like the Ignite, right? And something about Gwen, sure, you can E in, and then if you auto something, I think it is in 4 seconds, you do get the cooldown reduced by 50%. You still don't have an easy time of getting into the thick of things, so gonna have that Ghost for getting involved in team fights. We've surprisingly seen a lot of Gwens opt out of Nashor's Tooth in the LPL and go for the Cosmic Drive to try to alleviate that issue and play more of a team fight Gwen rather than just going for what's probably statistically the most DPS you can get on that champion. So this will be Flandre's take on it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see Flandre's take on it, and I'm curious to see what everybody on Reddit says about that take after the game, because I'm sure there'll be some people that think he's a genius, and there'll be some people that think he's absolutely insane. Guess what? It's Rumble. He's level 3. We're getting a gank in the top lane. Who could have seen this coming? It only happens every single game that we see Rumble in every region. Flandre flashed upon as Shun looks to try and finish this one off, but neny can't close the gap. There's the stun. Beautifully done, and it's first blood for neny.
Yep, IG doing a nice job of punishing Flandre's position in the lane. This does mean, as we see in our screen, though, that Jiejie is going to be able to take away a bunch of camps, which is a bit of a role reversal, right? Because typically, when you see Volibear, it's more about early ganking. Rumble's about, hey, I cleared faster than you, becoming a big threat in team fights. But IG saw an angle. They wanted to make sure that Flandre couldn't become a monster too early on in this game. He is forced to TP back because of the position of his wave, or he would have just lost out on so much EXP. And yeah, it feels like you got a decent trade on both sides, but again, I feel like with the compositions, EDG still feel just fine as the longer this game prolongs.
Rookie trying to escape. Flash forward from Jiejie. There's a knock-up as well, but Rookie flashes under his tower. Won't quite find himself the taunt here. A Scout actually finds another way in. Doesn't have ignites. Can't threaten the kill, at least for now, but nicely done here by Scout and Jiejie. A flash for Flash, jungler for mid laner. I think you'll take that as EDG.
100% EDG feel fine with that, and we're going to see both teams just kind of default to standard, right? Rookie, of course, having to recall, so is going to blow the TP the same time as neny in the top side. We've seen EDG's bot lane doing a nice job of consistently pushing in Lucas and Wink thus far, so matchup doesn't seem too bad for the side of EDG's bot lane, and actually Lucas and Wink not able to find any advantages so far.
Well, I think you do have that natural issue with a lot of these spellcaster supports that often you need levels to get damage on your abilities, right? Most AP champions scale very well with levels, so Lux usually does take a couple of levels before your E really starts to hit that hard, but then once it does, once you start to get beyond level 6, once you start to get 3 levels in your E, Lucas is going to be able to literally one-shot people if they stand in the bindings, so EDG will have to be cautious about that one. I am curious, what is your expectation of how IG play out this bottom lane, though, and how they transition anything into a lead? Is it just that Wink and Lucas play super safe and play super far back and just clear waves with the Ezreal?
I mean, that's what it seems like IG are doing, right? Is it's going to be a lot more about how they played last week of getting the advantages in mid and top. Scout is going to get away, but you know, you have the volatile matchup in top side. You know that's what EDG would prefer to play around as well. So seems like IG are trying to go toe-to-toe just by trying to what they perceive in bringing more damage in the Rumble and Camille. Problem is, once we get level 6, right, we not only have to worry about things like Sylas being able to match your movement with the ultimate, but you also have the Dawning Shadows coming out from Viper in the bottom lane. So even going to have a bit more damage and survivability coming from there, where sure, I guess Wink can throw out an Arcane Barrage. We saw from LWX and FPX, you know, timed properly, that thing does wonders. But, you know, I don't know if IG can expect anything like that here today.
I'm not sure any team can quite expect that kind of play. For anyone that doesn't know what Lyric is referencing, LWX literally shot his ult at the base, timed with somebody recalling on minimal HP, gets the kill on the Fountain. It was just unbelievable to watch. I can't believe it happened timed it perfectly. In a pro game. Yeah.
Yep, FPX doing a great job, and you know, we're starting to see more movement towards the bottom half of the map from both teams. Does make sense. The camps are starting to come up. I think lanes are going at least relatively how you would expect on the top side, right? Gwen still being extremely potent early on, so is going to get ahead in that matchup, but Shun might be caught out.
It's the Sylas Galio ult, followed by the Galio ult. That was a tongue twister, but now Rookie gets a 3-man taunt for himself. That might just be enough to get him out of dodge. Nice pick, though, for EDG.
And now EDG will be able to start up this Dragon. Scout also going to be able to go back and catch that mid wave and not lose out on anything. Looks like EDG wanting to back off. Maybe not necessarily to start the Drake. Looks like they were pinging to try to get a catch on the Rookie. He was already back in his lane, and they are going to back off with the fact that Meiko is just sitting in bot lane catching that wave.
We're going to be able to just farm from a distance as Viper arrives back in this bottom side. Once again, Lucas, the more levels he gets, the more damage he's going to be able to offer in this 2v2. Same can be said for Meiko and Viper as well, though. With Senna, your Q certainly starts to scale up pretty terrifyingly. He has a Phage as well in his pocket, so definitely, I don't know. The problem is there's no real way to close the gap, right? Here we go, stun on the top side. Flandre could be in trouble here as Shun has arrived as well. Has that equalizer if they want to go for a dive, but I think Flandre is going to be okay for now. Maybe Shun looks towards the Herald with a ward coming in. Maybe this could be a dive, Larry.
the thing is, they don't know where Scout and Jiejie are. I'm almost positive they didn't spawn Jiejie's recall, so, you know, I think they should assume that both are nearby. Flandre also level 6 as well, so gonna have access to that ultimate. Both Rookie and Scout not having their ultimates available, so I'm interested to see which way this one goes. I would expect it's EDG favored.
Shun doing a great job to dodge away from Scout there. The rest of the follow-up is coming in. 3-man taunt from Rookie here, but he's answered with his own life as Scout gets his second kill of the game. Herald could be an option, but I think Scout wants a little bit more under this tower. Equalizer there, the chain lash as well. Shun has to flash just to survive this one, as the Herald will be the reward for EDG.
And we see the impact of the Donny Shadow that we were talking about as well, helping to force out a summoner. But you look at EDG right now, Gwen providing a tremendous amount of damage, right? Stack up that Q, Meiko, not gonna be bind.
Oh, it's a that flash bind was about as good as the second set of Star Wars films, Lucas.
Well, Lucas definitely missing out on that one. Like you said, EDG being the big victors of this play towards top side. Again, the Q passive coming out from Gwen, getting those 4 stacks, all the damage you come hitting it down the mid of that ability. He had his ultimate available as well, so very easily to start up the fight, throw in the ult, slow the enemy, dash in with E, and then Jiejie and Scout very easily able to follow up. And when you look at the 3-man cores of each side, I definitely feel like EDG's 3-man has more damage right now. And, you know, doesn't help that Shun's ult really wasn't layered on top of anyone. All of EDG kept moving forward, which I'm guessing maybe he didn't expect.
Dragon is on the map here, Lyric. It's 10 minutes on the clock and no dragon has been taken. This is a rare situation in the LPL as IG get the Scuttle Crab. Doesn't look like they're willing to pull the trigger. Wink was obviously in base. Neny hanging around in the fountain. It's a while until his TP comes up. Maybe just waiting for a little bit of gold. He's getting real close to finishing his mythic though. And I think Camille is one of those champions that you spike exceptionally hard when you finish off a mythic. But the player I'm keeping my eye on right now is Scout, right? 2 kills already as a lost chapter. 4 stacks on a Dark Seal. Feels like if a dragon fight happens to go his way, he's going to be an unstoppable monster.
And now he should have a very easy time just dealing with Rookie in the mid lane, right? We see him spamming his abilities, able to get control of that wave. Sad thing for him is Galio, extremely telegraphed playstyle, Winds of War into passive hit, and you do that combo twice, the whole wave is pretty much gone. Then we're going to see Rookie do as he's doing now, just constantly hovering towards the top side of the map. You're going to wait for that Hextech ultimatum to come up, layer that onto the Gwen. Rookie will follow in, and he'll probably throw a cheeky equalizer on top just to guarantee that kill.
It's not happening for now, at least. They keep threatening it, right? They want to go for this top play. Flandre knows what's going on for sure. And in the meantime, EDG can be like, all right, well, if Shun's up top, then we'll just do Drake. Or maybe dive bot ourselves here. Remember, they have a Volibear. Towers do not exist when it comes to dive scenarios. So Meiko and Viper grab themselves a turret plate. Jiejie was spotted on a ward, gets vision of Lucas, and will be able to back away. As you see, Shun has moved towards the bottom side himself. Does not want to risk this one. neny recalling, has the TP. If this is a play that IG want to force on the bottom side, you can see neny actually pathing towards this bottom side.
Yeah, so, I mean, they spot, you know, they know they're around here. For EDG, you can even just drop the Herald at this point. The turret will be gone, so it looks like that's what they're going to opt into. You can rotate after that, hover around mid. Both Shun and Rookie will have to back off, and you could try to turn that into a dragon or look to force a fight. I'm not sure how much standing gold the members will be sitting on if they prefer just to recall off that, but definitely a timer to hover mid and then turn to dragon if they so choose.
See Scout looking for a chance onto Rookie once again. That was a very nice taunt from Rookie, actually. Predicts the all-in, or predicts the jump forward from Scout. Gets the taunt, gets a little bit damage out. But EDG now can move towards this Drake, as you say, pushing out that bottom tower, getting themselves a bunch of gold, getting themselves an early Drake, and can go with this basically wherever they want. And I have to say, I'm a little bit scared for IG, because I feel like this composition from EDG, it ain't going to get any worse later on into the game. I feel like IG are going to start making things happen.
And the thing is, like, EDG have a decent amount of engage, right? Karma, Mantra, E of the Shurelya's coming out. Scout can just jump in there. Jiejie can jump in the fight. You have Ghost on Flandre. So it's not even like, in my opinion, you could try to just kite out with Wink and Lucas and try to take an extended fight. And then the other thing is a lot of your bursts, I just feel like, is mitigated. You have 2 sustained bruisers in your soul lanes that have a ton of healing, not to mention Gwen's W, which gives her both MR and armor. Sylas W, we know, will be absurd with the healing later on. Jiejie's building full tank. You've talked about your PTSD with the bot lane, so you don't really have the burst. Kiting out the team fights will be quite hard with the amount of all-in EDG has. And it kind of sucks that, you know, in the A block, I talk about, hey, you look at these teams, IG have been drafting better in their previous segment. Well, we come into this series and it's like, well, I don't see the avenues or the angles where IG can really take favorable wins.
Yeah, and even outside of just the draft, when we talk about the things we set up during the A block versus reality, we were talking about Rookie versus Scout, the mid lane battle. And it's a Galio versus Sylas. They're never going to fight each other. They're always going to be off in the side lanes, so it does feel like we don't really get to see that same 1v1, but we do get to see how these two players can influence the map. You see neny has finished his mythic now. Divine Sundeer going to be in his pocket. Same can be said for Jiejie. But EDG, look, here's the thing. EDG plays slow. We've got used to this now. It was the same in spring. They're a relatively slow-paced team, and obviously that's good. That can be very good in League of Legends. LCK has a long storied history of succeeding with slow League of Legends. But Lyric, I'm a play-by-play. I want to see them fight. And the first Drake didn't even happen until 10 minutes into the game. Or in fact, later than that, because the next one's not up for another 3 minutes. How do the fights happen? Lyric, when's the next fight?
I feel like the big thing with EDG is it's just not fair just to say slow, right? But I feel like EDG aren't a team that as a unit take a lot of unnecessary risks, right? They were typically one of the teams that they do feel fine just waiting out the 5-minute dragon timer, playing for that next Drake, realizing they win the dragon fight, not having to either bait a Baron or go deep in your jungle looking for picks. They're completely fine doing that. So EDG going to keep the same style. Typically, when you do see EDG over-aggress or make blunders in the mid-game, it's like individuals pushing too far forward. So Scout maybe in a side lane going too far forward and getting collapsed 3-man Flandre or Viper equivalently. So for EDG, they're just going to keep playing stock and standard. They're going to take the Rift Herald. Flandre is fine taking this turret. You're going to probably 5-man collapse mid after doing this, drop Herald mid, and then you're looking towards the next dragon for a big fight.
Yeah, and you know, we saw IG toying with the idea of starting a fight, right? They keep on trying to make moves towards these side lanes, but EDG just read it every single time. Every time we see Rookie leave the mid lane and move along with Shun to one of these side lanes, whoever's in that side lane from EDG backs off completely, maybe even resets entirely, and it feels like there's no way for IG to actually pull the trigger onto the situation. Good little ult there coming out from Lucas. That is going to keep this tower alive mid. Oh, no. Oh, Jiejie. That's just sad. Oh, no, he's going to walk into them as well. It took the worst path it could have. Oh, it's tragic.
Munchables, it happens to the worst. Moments like this are what brings, you know, us and the viewers closer to pro players, right? It creates shared experience that we can all relate to. So, Jiejie just doing one for everyone out there, you know, letting you know that, you know, you don't have to let it be a dream to go be a pro player or go try.
Yeah, all you have to do is mess up your Herald at Raptors and you too could be a pro player. That's good news, especially for my terrible Zoe plays, but maybe one day I can be like Knight and Yurgao. Drake's coming up in 30 seconds though, and certainly while the dreams of pro play may be getting closer for those at home, the dreams of a Drake don't seem to be getting any closer for IG to me, because the gold gap is just getting bigger, 3,000 now in favor of EDG, and with mythics across the board coming on through on the side of EDG. Similar story for IG, but I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like EDG's comp is extraordinarily strong.
Yeah, definitely, especially now we see them, they're able to get on Drake first. IG even realize they can't contest, can't walk into them, so they're going to give this one up and try and get standing gold on the opposite side of the map. She's going to pick up the Scuttle Crab. neny's going to push into that top side. Maybe they try to hover and threaten to dive so Scout can't walk up, but Scout actually not even going to walk up and put himself in that position. Right now just kind of hovering around the jungle. But like you're saying, IG, they're trying to find a pick, but they're being hard-pressed to do it. They just need to hope someone for EDG becomes extremely out of position. Maybe Scout or Flandre does show in a 1v1 lane against Camille. You give him the range to Hextech ultimatum. You follow him with Rookie's ultimate. But actually, EDG are engaging onto Lucas.
Lucas blasts his laser here. Galio Rousey does go down. Dawning Shadow comes out, but nothing more going to come of this one. The hat trick in the pocket of Scout now, as he's already got his 3, and Rookie heads back to base. 6 stacks on the Dark Seal. And Lyric, with this much shielding on your team, I can see a world where the next item that Scout picks up for himself is that Medjai's. Maybe this is the pop-off game for him as Wink forced away from the mid lane. Demolish not going to be procced though. As Rookie gets underneath the tower, immediately just gets chunked out and forced away. Viper's low, but it doesn't matter, because in a minute, he's going to press Q.
Yeah, now EDG are just going to back off, and we're going to go back to the cycle that we talked about, Munchables. 3 minutes 30 until Drake. EDG are going to catch these waves. They're going to go, you know, maybe get some wards on the top side of the map now because Baron's coming up in 1 minute. Wait out that 3 minutes, transition towards bot. We'll see in the replay, Lucas going too far forward for wards. Jiejie has flash up. Lucas doesn't have flash in this moment, so he does get picked off and caught out. And that is that. He's donezo. He's gone.
And now we get to relax for the next 3 and a bit minutes, Lyric. We get a bit of time to just put our feet up and wait for the next streak to spawn. So, what's your perfect Sunday, Lyric?
Wait, you mean like perfect Sunday as in the day, or like the ice cream?
Oh, I meant the day, but I mean, if you want to talk about ice cream, you talk about. You live your life, Lyric. Don't let me tell you who to be.
I'm a simple man. Just a simple chocolate sundae is you know, good for me. A lot like this game. I'm a simple man. I enjoy simple things. EDG, and again, doing things by the book, kind of waiting for objectives to force 5v5s. And IG not a position to force anything on the opposite side of the map because they'll probably lose too much.
See, I'm kind of the opposite kind of simple man. I want teams like IG, usually, and top esports who like to just go in. That's
wait. So does that translate into a bacon sundae? Because I can't remember what fast food place sold those in America, but one used to have them.
Sure. Why not? I've never tried that, but it sounds amazing. Shun's in trouble though, or is he? Disengage. Nothing happens. Bacon sundae. Absolutely delicious by the sounds of things.
Wasn't a big fan, but yeah, Flash is forced out coming out from Shun. Now we're going to see EDG transition back to controlling sides. No one has the confidence to match Scout up in that lane. You know he'll definitely win 1v1 up against Rookie right now. Rookie trying to find opportunities to influence the opposite side of the map. Realistically, if EDG wanted to try to say, hey, we can force Baron, they don't really have a ton of DPS to do it, and try to pull IG into a fight, I'm pretty confident that they would win it, but that would just be an unnecessary risk you don't need to take. For IG, we want to see the Hail Marys. We want to see multiple members thrown into one side of the map, try and find a pick somewhere. Maybe as IG, you're hoping, hey, we're actually not that far behind. We don't need to do it. One team fight victory can potentially turn into us wiping the enemy team and maybe turning them into Baron, but I feel like that is a pretty high hope, Munchables.
We'll have to see. The laser comes through to try and clear the wave. The root is there with an equalizer as well, but that was just barely even scratches Meiko. They do save the tower for themselves, and we'll back away as Viper takes a shot there. Nice little defense coming out from IG on this tower, but with that laser on cooldown, this next wave might just be enough. EDG grouping up to try and siege mid here. Drake's up in 40 seconds, and they really want to finish that tower before it comes onto the map. Looking to dive. Here we go. Tower goes down. In the meantime, neny threatening the backline, going on to Viper. The shield's coming on through. Viper's going to go down. It's a great fight for IG so far. As neny backs back out of the fight himself. Rookie looking for some damage, looking to dash away for himself. neny has to... Oh, interrupted by Scout. Beautifully done here. neny surely goes down off the back of that play. Very nicely done by the Korean mid lane.
Still nice to see that IG were able to find a window to get the pick, right? I guess maybe we're underestimating a little bit too much if neny comes in on a flank. I mean, you have Rookie following up. You have a bunch of long-range damage you can output, so you can definitely take out Viper in these fights, as we've just seen. But then you're giving EDG time to where it's like, hey, Scout's cooldowns come back up, Flandre's cooldowns come back up, and your team composition is very ultimate reliant in my mind. So anything extended beyond that initial engage should be EDG favor, but still, neny finds the window, ease onto Meiko, into the Hextech ultimatum onto Viper. Rookie follows in between the two of them. They have the damage to take the fight. Sadly, again, they're a very combo-reliant team. Ezreal really the only one who can output that consistent damage in these team fights. Scout really sick with the Abscond Abduct to cancel neny's dash, and they're able to easily finish off that kill.
Beautiful stuff from EDG. That's another Drake for them. And now Soul Point for that team. And feeling very strong. EDG can start to control the Baron area and start to just dominate the vision game for the rest of this one. As another Divine Sunderer on the map here, as Viper's picked one of those up for himself. We have 4 Divine Sunderers in play across the scoreboard as Rookie almost caught out, but the Everfrost slow keeps him alive. Do you know what I've realized? I figured it out, Lyric. When we're trying to talk about EDG and this stylistic way that they play versus teams like Top Esports, EDG are the Lord of the Rings of LPL teams, right? It's very slow to start with, Fellowship of the Ring. It does take a little while to kick off and not that much happens, but then you get to the 2 towers and it's nothing but action. The Battle of Helm's Deep kicks off and it's just explosive. Then you get Return of the King, the fight for Minas Tirith. Oh my goodness, it's too exciting. And we're exactly in Helm's Deep right now as Flandre is going to go gold and keeps himself alive. There's a taunt coming out from Rookie. Gets a knock-up as well with an Everfrost coming on through, but it's Scout to turn it around. neny was on an equalizer the whole time. He falls. The Scout gets 2 more for the books. And Shun falls for the triple. Scout is on fire.
And now we're going to see EDG be able to turn this into a bear, and they can just run completely towards the top side. No smite for the side of IG. Wink and Lucas not able to do anything if they get too close into range. Maybe you ended up getting rooted by Senna. Maybe Sylas jumps on top of you. So EDG finally finding the picks they need from IG, making that side lane play we've been setting up for so long, turning that around and finding the big objective.
It's beautiful to see. Flandre, he looks like the Rohirrim. They're struggling to defend the keep, and then Scout arrives like Gandalf on the 3rd day and takes over the battle. It's beautiful to see the triple kill for him. 7-3 as the Baron is low. Laser available. Can they get the steal? The answer is no. Beautiful smite coming out from Jiejie.
That would have been pretty cool and cheeky if they did get it. Final Spark at level 16 is down to like a 40-second cooldown, so we're going to see Lucas get close to the point to where you're seeing him spam that, you know, even 2 times in one single team fight. But here we're going to go into the replay. IG are making this play on sides. They see a lot of EDG's members showing in mid, so they feel confident going for this. Flandre goes golden, is able to survive it a little bit long, but there's the equalizer coming out from Scout. So much damage going down. neny standing on it the whole time is pretty tragic. And then, yeah, EDG rotate multiple members here. Jiejie not able to do anything. He goes down as well. So a little sad for the side of IG. We'll always throw out this, you know, this caveat of, you know, neny just coming up to the roster, only his 2nd game. So, but overall, this doesn't necessarily feel like a one-player gap or one-player problem, right? It felt like coming out of draft that IG's comp was very hard pressed for options. If they could have potentially snowballed that top side very hard early on, maybe you break open the game through there. But Flandre paid a ton of respect, and it wasn't able to happen.
Beautiful stuff going on. And I think as well, on top of that, like, we saw Shun get his ulti down, not the greatest. Scout steals the equalizer, and it's just perfect. Like, Shun is the 2nd best Rumble in this game because Scout exists and he can just take away the equalizer, which realistically is one of the biggest reasons that you would pick Rumble with this composition when you've got that.
To be fair, mid laners have played Rumble a lot longer than junglers, but we're going to get another fight, Munchables. You're getting what you asked for.
I certainly am. We're getting towards the Return of the King stage of the game at this point. This is the battle for Minas Tirith. Don't worry, we're going to take it to the Black Gate later as EDG move towards the bottom side. Dragon up in 40 seconds time. Actually, maybe this is the desolation of Smaug, as the Drake certainly could be a priority, and I'm sure there's a lot of treasure underneath in his cove.
I just love that I don't understand any of these references, so, you know, just a lot going over my head as EDG, you know, putting it in my terms. Dragon's coming up in 20 seconds. That's going to be EDG's. IG kind of forced to fight them, but Scout finding the engage himself. And it turns into nothing. Munchables. I got excited for no reason once again.
It's sad to say, but it is a Galio at the end of the day. This is kind of what expect. And I wanted to see these two mid laners going head-to-head. Scout is winning the 1v1 pretty handedly because Rookie's playing Galio. There's only so much you can do when the rest of the map is falling apart. I feel like neny is kind of the guy that a lot of this win condition from IG rests upon at this point, because he's the one with some items. He's already on 3. As EDG, it looks like they're just going to get the soul uncontested here. IG, not even bothered. Not even going to try to fight for that one, which, I don't know. Like, things were already pretty bad. Not even being able to contest the Dragon Soul feels pretty dire for IG.
I mean, you look at their flashes, right? Not only did Scout just force Rookie's flash like we saw around mid, but Wink had no flash up, Lucas had no flash up. Just a lot of sitting targets for the mobile bruisers on the side of EDG to take advantage of, dash in on and kill. So Wink and Lucas wouldn't have had an easy time being part of the fight regardless, let alone once Rookie gets taken out. I think IG made the right choice, right? At this point, there's only so much you can do. It's like the decisions that led us here, which are more of the problem, but still, I do feel like IG had a game plan and we saw them try to enact it. Like you said, they got kills on the neny, but there was realistically only so much they were able to do without the ability to really force that hard with the champions they've picked up. So EDG going to keep pushing this one forward. Again, always a chance of a miracle fight where someone on EDG mispositions, right? Viper walks too far forward, you land a Lux binding, maybe Rookie's there for Predator into a taunt, you pick him off, and you get some kind of scattered fight like that. But that's realistically the only thing we're looking at for IG at this point in time.
Yeah, and I'm a little sad that we're not seeing more AP from the Lux. Obviously, it's Guardian. neny will get out with his life. And going for that Shurelius does mean that realistically doesn't do that much damage. Jiejie going to be pulled in here, taunted up. In goes neny. Rookie with the Galio ult on top of everything. The red carpet burning underneath them. Jiejie. Oh, I was going to say he's invincible. He's not, because the Q from Wink finishes the kill there. Nicely done. So IG find a pick for themselves and slow down the push from EDG.
Yeah, a fight right in front of their tower, right? EDG not feeling confident or not wanting to dive that. We saw Flandre wasn't even there, so wasn't even a 5v5 on their side. Doesn't matter how tanky and durable Jiejie is at this point. Doesn't matter that he's the 2 mountains or the shield available. IG just able to output free damage from the safety of their turret and are able to finish him off. And this is what we were talking about, Munchables. If things like this continue to happen for the side of IG, there's always hope. I'm giving people copium out there watching who are IG fans and want them to win. I'm your guy, but it's
look,
you know,
it's not copium, it's hopium. It's
hopium, there we go.
It's not over yet, so the copium doesn't have to come out yet. That's after the series. That's in the Reddit thread. Don't worry about it for now.
The boomer caster explaining to me what it is. Thanks, brother.
Don't worry. I have read the memes on your behalf. This cast is getting weird, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the less kills per minute in an LPL cast, the wackier the conversation tends to get. Rookie spotted out here. Baron's coming up in 5 seconds. But the thing is, like, that pick... Oh, by the way, Medjai's finished for Scout. Just wanted to point that out quickly. That pick that we just saw onto Jiejie in the top side, it's like, yeah, sure. You didn't really delay EDG that much, because I don't think that they could actually siege that much more onto the top tier 2. They kind of just had to back away. And now it's like, okay, well, Baron is the next thing on the cards. They could just set up. They can look for... Oh, no. Shun's in trouble. Flashes away. Pin, that's a lot used, actually, from EDG for not much. Shun doing a good job to survive.
It's very strange to me that EDG opted into looking for the flank there when, right, if they want to bait that play, if you want to pull IG into you, Baron's up, start Baron, pull IG even further out of their base. You have that TP flank where you can still bring Flandre onto, but going for an angle where IG are extremely close to their base, have the potential to get away, but at least now Shun has no flash. This should be a relatively guaranteed Baron, but Scout having that insane flank angle if IG do want to walk forward.
Yeah, there's no control ward in the pit here. Shun moving forward. Equalizer is available. Here we go. Jiejie moves at the speed of light to try and close the gap. The shielding comes through. There's a Sylas Galio ult coming in as well as Scout. Trying to get onto the back line here. Does manage to get in there. Has to use the Zhonya's though. As in comes Rookie. Another Zhonya's pop. There's some needles through the back line here. Rookie the first one to go down. And IG now desperately trying to flee. But I don't think Flandre is going to let him get away with this one. Lucas the next to fall. 2 for Flandre here. As another stopwatch on the top side of the fight. Shun goes down, and Wink suddenly finds that all he can do is blast Qs over the wall.
Up in EDG, still going to go for it. Jiejie's making his way around. Wink being forward.
Absolutely has lost his mind. That's a Gwen. She presses W. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that was a bit of a head scratcher. Is Scout wanting to finish off the ace? I think neny's fine though. So this will be a Baron for the side.
Oh no, he's on the wrong side of the map. He's not fine. I was confused as well. Neny executes at the end. I too thought he was retreating, but he was not. That was enemy territory.
The fact that the fight started with IG in EDG's jungle, right? It just kind of swapped everything around with who was on what side, but EDG get Baron. Elder's up in 30 seconds. The fact that they have Baron, have more gold, they're going to push out the waves. Elder should be 90% theirs.
Quickly before the replay.
Maybe a steal comes out.
So what happened there? It was the Battle of the Black Gate of Baron, and neny was Frodo behind enemy lines trying to get to Mount Doom. That's what was happening.
I mean, you look right. IG started on Baron's side, so they got pushed in towards EDG's jungle. The engages come out from both sides. A lot of key abilities already dropped, right? Equalizer down, Galio ultimate down. So now the re-engage is able to come out from EDG. And sure, you do have a lot of long-range poke to try to cut this out, but you have consistent dashes on the side of EDG. You just wait up the Abscond of Duck cooldown. We talked about Gwen's dash. You auto, and the cooldown's cut in half, so you're able to dash once again. And they were just able to finish that one off. So going to push into the base right now, potentially trying to find a pick before they do want to turn towards that Elder. Honestly, maybe they're even strong enough to dive if they want to, but we've seen these fights have been actually pretty close. If Wink can survive, he does actually deal a considerable amount of damage, as well as neny.
Flandre gets the mid tower here as the rest of EDG pushing in the bottom side, and IG have gone mid to answer Flandre, and so this bottom tower goes down. Oh, the Everfrost goes in. Dawning Shadow, see you later, Shun. That's an easy pick for EDG. They don't even need more kills. They can settle for inhibs, or they can look for more as neny jumps back into the fray, does get out with his life, and the equalizer doesn't hit neny, but it just burns through the bottom lane of IG. Down goes Rookie, and down goes this game. An easy win, honestly, for EDG as they just dominate IG for a full 35 minutes. The return of the King Baby as Aragorn has arrived back in Minas Tirith. It's an easy win for EDG, and good wins out the day.
And I like it by EDG. They actually realized in the end, hey, we don't even need to go for Elder. They were strong enough to dive. They go for the dive. They're able to pick off the Rumble, and then it's easy pickings from there. So EDG coming in with an extremely strong showing. I think a lot of good things across the map, right? Once again, Munchables, the Senna Karma train rolls on. We got a Gwen game coming out from it, and overall, again, at least to me, a lot of the problems for this game do start in draft. I think Flandre did a really good job of playing around the pressure that you were pointing out of like, hey, you know, IG are once again shadowing towards the top side. Well, Flandre just backs off the wave. He is completely fine. And then it was just about those team fights that we saw later on. And EDG are a team who, again, they don't need overforce. We can wait 5 minutes for a W. They just kept waiting for those dragons, kept waiting for those guaranteed moments where IG had to walk out. And it was done and dusted from there.
Look, at the end of the day, I'm kind of tired today because I couldn't sleep last night. I was having nightmares about specifically Senna and Karma as a composition. I wish that IG could say the same thing because you can never let this through again. I've seen it twice now, and it's been like, what do you do? How do you kill them? How do you ever kill anyone on this team? Even if you get one pick in the fight, it just feels like the longer the fight goes on, it's kind of the same thing as like these Seraphine compositions that we were getting earlier on in the year, where it's just like, if this fight goes long enough, it really doesn't matter what your opponent tries to do because there's just no way to win the battle of attrition.
So what you're saying, Munchables, is you just need the LPL Classic, and the game just doesn't need to go long enough. You just do what JDG did in Game 1 today, you know, call it a day at, I guess, what should have been like 25 minutes, but that game was actually longer, and you go home with the W. But, you know, I guess the more relevance of this game, overall for EDG, I like that we're once again still seeing them stick to champions, that it's like, hey, we have two soul laners that can get pressures and sides. When RNG won MSI, a lot of us were questioning, hey, what are going to be the takeaways a lot of LPL teams take from RNG's playstyle? Because you always have a follow the leader mentality pretty much in any region, right? Certain teams will take small things from the best team in your league. And it seems like a lot of teams are taking out that they are able to just get side pressure and have multiple avenues into either moving first, getting on the objective, controlling vision, and not that you just have to mindlessly look for fights around mid-wave or things along those lines. So once again, another solid game coming out from EDG, and Viper's damage is pretty disgusting.
Yep, 22,200 exactly. It does look nice, doesn't it? The 22200. Very nicely done from the side of EDG. And again, just this composition, very, very scary. I feel like they just had infinite power picks, right? With obviously, I've talked it to death with the Senna Karma, but also Gwen up in the top side. Gwen exceptionally powerful. I feel like Gwen has been pretty underrepresented in the LPL so far. We've seen it a lot more in other regions, and there's quite a few teams still somewhat ignoring the Gwen pick in LPL. I don't think that's going to last. I think she's incredibly strong in the top side. So EDG, one of the more early adopters in LPL, and rewarded with a win accordingly. We're going to jump into a quick break, and we'll be back with game number 2 between EDG